Congratulations, you've reached Coast Fire, the financial equivalent of saying I could technically survive on beans if I never get sick, divorced or laid off. It's not retirement, it's just a poverty but with branding. Let's talk about the fantasy. Coast Fire is pitched as an ultimate life hack. You invest aggressively while you're young, build up a decent portfolio early and then coast, working just enough to cover your expenses until you hit retirement velocity and your investments takes off. Sounds chill, right? The influencers love it. They'll show you spreadsheet, compound interest charts, a lot of shaming grabs that says if you start at 20 you can retire at 40 by doing almost nothing for 20 years. But here's what they don't say. This only works if the market never crashes, inflation stays tame, your rent doesn't triple and your life stays completely chaos free. In other words, it works in a spreadsheet, not reality. Let's break it down like adults. Coast Fire means you front load your retirement saving. You save a ton early and then stop adding to your retirement portfolio entirely. The assumption time and compound interest will carry the rest of the way. That's only true if you never touch that money and it continues to grow every single year for decades. But here's the twist. You're still working, you still need income to cover living costs. You're not financially independent, you're just not saving anymore, which means one market crash equals delayed retirement, one medical emergency equals debt spiral, one bad decade equals back to square one. It's called Coast Fire, but you're actually walking a financial tightrope with no harness. So what happens when reality hits? Market crashes like 2008 or 2020, suddenly your retirement portfolio is down 30% and you've got no income coming into it. Inflation goes nuts, your projected lifestyle at 60 now costs twice as much. You lose your job at 45, good luck getting hired again with 15-year resume gap because you were coasting. Coasting sounds peaceful until you realize you're doing it downhill with no brakes towards a cliff. Here's the brutal truth. Coast Fire is a clever rebranding of the same old lie. You can get rich without effort, sacrifice or risk. And just like most fire content, it's designed for people with no kids, no medical bills and no real world obligations. Yes, compound interest is powerful, but so is life. And life tends to punch you in the portfolio. If you're going to coast, make sure it's with seatbelts, a helmet and backup income stream that doesn't vanish when your 2008 era ETF goes belly up. Thank you for joining me in a financial wasteland. If this episode slapped your budget in the face, hit that subscribe button. I've got more uncomfortable truths, brutal math and delusions to dissect. Next episode, the influencer who told you quitting your job to sell ebooks is a retirement plan. Until then, stay cynical, stay solvent and remember, coast all you want, just don't confuse it with cruising.